What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters Allstar video, and in today's video we are going to be breaking down the 829 KOF Allstar Maintenance Notice that is going to be bringing along with it a ton of information, including the confirmation of the SS Volume 3 banner and the details on it, as well as a rerun of SS Volume 1, the Transcendental Battle Card System, EQ Chapter 2, and so much more. But before we get into it, if you guys are new here and you enjoy daily King of Fighters All-Star content such as this, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe. So in this video today we have a lot to go over, so we're just going to go ahead and jump into it. If you guys want links to any of this stuff, including this maintenance notice, link will be in the description. So looking at this here, as you guys can see over on the official forums, we do have the KOF All-Star Maintenance Notice today for 8/29, which is this coming Sunday, from CM Yuri. And as you guys can see here, we are going to be getting a maintenance scheduled that starts at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on 8/29, and so basically what this means is you guys are going to need to make sure that you get all of your dailies complete on 8/29 before this maintenance. Otherwise you guys are going to be missing out on your daily missions and your rewards as a result. It's a weird day for an update, so just make sure you get it taken care of. Now when it comes to the actual maintenance details, we are going to be getting new and reappearing fighters and battle cards in the form of the new SS fighter and battle cards, which we will talk about momentarily. We are also going to have mentioned here new BS fighter and battle card. Now this is probably in reference to the Phantom Nest characters for Epic Quest. Keep that in mind. There's a good chance that this confirms that those characters will be tagged as BS fighters, but we don't have confirmation. However, they don't give us any other details in here, so we'll have to wait and see. We're also going to get reappearing SS fighters and battle cards, and as I mentioned, that is going to be in the form of SS Volume 1. So SS Volume 1, of course, included SS Mai and SS Athena. I know a lot of people out there have been really excited for them to get re-released and have been hoping that this happens. However, I will say I'll do a full should you summon next week, but I do think that due to the fact that both of these characters have been power crept in a big way since their releases, you may want to heavily consider whether or not you want to pull for these characters, because chances are you'd be better off going or at least waiting for other characters to get rerun. But it's up to you guys if they're personal favorites. Of course, you always pull for your personal favorites, but I figured I would let you guys know that. And then of course they also reiterate that we will be getting the Volume 3 for the special signature fighters and their battle cards, which is of course SS K and SS Kula, and we're going to look at their trailers here in a moment. But that is what we've got as far as the new characters and battle cards, you guys. Rejoice for all of you who have been waiting for Volume 1. I know that you guys have been waiting a long time. Your time has finally come, so good luck to all of you guys in your pulls. I hope you get what you want. But with all of that being said, we do have other stuff here to talk about, so let's go ahead and move on to that. So we are also going to be getting new Imprint Stones added. Now of course this isn't anything new. We are going to be getting new special signature Imprint Stones for Volume 3. This is par for the course. We pretty much already knew that this was going to happen. So the new K and Kula will have their own specific Imprint Stones, and then Epic Quest is also going to get Imprint Stones. We've talked about this in a previous video. Link will be in the description. We have data mined assets that gave this away. So with all that being said, this also means that we are going to be getting, officially you guys, it's official, Epic Quest Episode 2. We knew this was happening, but now we have confirmation. We are getting it with this update. And then the Transcendental Battle Card System, the system that was completely just forgotten about after the Dead or Alive 6 update, is coming. This is something we've also talked about quite a bit in the past in data mines. We don't have a lot of information on how this is going to operate, so we'll just have to play the waiting game with this, but that is something that is coming. Now, next up, we are also getting new events. This is going to be in the form of a new rush dungeon that is called Fight in Search of the Self. So this is going to be coinciding with the SS Volume 3 release. We're going to get a new login streak bonus, which hopefully brings along with it a bunch of nice items, as well as an Imprint Stone Growth Super Mission. I had almost forgotten that super missions were a thing. It's been a while, so it's nice to see this come back. Now, the other thing that we're going to get here is a Battle Card Carnival. So this is really cool because, of course, this means that we're going to need to hoard all of our tickets or anything that we have that we can summon cards for, because this probably means that we will be getting an SS generic memory with this. Keep that in mind, you guys. They tend to like to give us one SS generic memory with these new SS banners. So make sure that you're saving all of your cards, all of your tokens, and so on and so forth. We're also going to get a new Battle Pass and 2 new event missions. The event missions they don't go into any detail on, and the Battle Pass we'll have to wait and see what the value proposition looks like with that thing. Of course, whenever that drops, I will give you guys an update on that, but I do like to see these Battle Passes because they do tend to sometimes be really valuable and really much so worth the money. So that is what we know as far as all the stuff that is coming with this announcement. We also have some other miscellaneous things here, like they're going to be adding new packages. Now, of course, with the new packages, if they're anything like the Dead or Alive 6 packages, which were a huge step down from what we're normally used to, then whales everywhere are going to be very upset because those, like I said, those new packages, those were not good. So if they decide to keep with that trend, I know a lot of people out there are not going to be very happy about it. But overall, we'll have to wait and see what those look like. I like to give you guys my opinion on those when those drop as well, so we'll talk about those at a later date. But then we also have content improvements. We already knew that the Friendship Summon revamp was coming. This is going to be bringing along with it some new ways to get hammers, so this is going to be really nice, as well as the weekly battle card dungeon getting a new difficulty added. Now, this is something that's kind of out of left field. It's been a while since we've had a new difficulty added to anything, so it's nice to see that we're getting that. And then from there, they mentioned some system improvements and error fixes and so on. So that is what we have for this update notice, you guys. Again, make sure on Sunday that you get all of your dailies done in a timely manner, because this is going to be a fairly long and fairly early maintenance. So make sure you guys get that taken care of. I don't want to hear anybody talking to me about how they missed out on their dailies, because you should have plenty of heads up. But overall, you guys, that is what we know. We have plenty of other stuff to talk about in this video. Like I had mentioned previously, we do have a trailer for SS K and SS Kula that we're going to take a look at. And then we also have a second video that is going to go over a new system that these characters are going to be bringing along with them, in which they can use extra skills. So that sounds like it's going to be something that's going to be pretty interesting. So we got a lot to talk about in this video. Let's go ahead and get into the reaction to these trailers. We'll break it all down, and then we will go ahead and finish this guy up. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, of course, I am going to be slowing this down in this video, so if you guys want to check it out in its entirety, link will be in the description. But this is going to be the official reveal of K and Kula for their special signature versions. So let's go ahead and take a look here first at Kula. So for those of you who are not aware yet, Kula is going to be a blue defense. So blue defenses are, of course, going to be very good for reviving Hell's Dungeon, but as we see here, we got Ray Spin into Sit, and then we have Frozen Arena, which she uses in KOF 14, and then undoubtedly right here, this is going to be the core finisher more than likely on her kit. So overall, you guys, she is looking very, very good. I'm very excited for this character. You guys know I've been looking for a great freeze-based character, or at least chill-based character. But then we have K here. K is going to be a red balance, so again, very good for reviving Hell's Dungeon. And this is looking like it is Ein Trigger into Second Knuckle, and of course, all of these skills we talked about in yesterday's video, breaking down that teaser image, and it's looking like we were ending up pretty close to what actually ended up happening here. So next up, we have confirmation that we have joint finishers for both of these characters. This appears to be Kula's finisher here, and then the next one they're going to go ahead and show is going to be K's, and these are looking like they are going to be fairly long. We're going to have to wait and see how these things operate. More than likely, they're going to be able to interrupt the different guild raid bosses' different moves, so that is something you can almost set your watch to with these. But they do look like they're full screen. They're going to be cinematics. They're probably going to be uninterruptible. These look really, really good, and overall, we are going to be able to take a look at the art for the cards here right after this, but these are looking really, really good, you guys. I am very excited for both of these characters. anybody who wants to give them trouble about the designs being similar to their previous designs, do keep in mind that SNK, we already know, has confirmed that they are very picky with any of the details that Netmarble changes with these characters' looks, depending on what game they're derived from, and so don't really worry about it. It's probably something they didn't have any control over, and honestly, I'm just happy to have a very, very solid SS version of both of these characters, especially Kula, considering the fact that she has not had a very strong classic version of her in this game as of yet. But we're going to take a look at this trailer one more time, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the other video they released. But overall, my thoughts on these characters is that both of them look like they are very strong. We are going to be getting a new mechanic added into the game that we are going to talk about with that next video that we're going to be looking at, in which they do confirm that these characters are technically going to have an extra skill on their kit, and that is something that you can combo off of one of their other skills. This is playing off of the idea in the core games, where with Kula, for example, she can use a different skill if she uses Race Spin first, and then with K, there is a running joke that I talked about in yesterday's video that half of his kit is revolved around Ein Trigger. Well, it looks like you're probably going to have to use Ein Trigger into this other skill, whatever it ends up being. So overall, these characters are going to be bringing with them some different and unique mechanics that we have not seen yet. They don't seem like they're anything uber broken yet, but more than likely they're going to be broken just like every other limited banner release that they make. And both of these characters, I can almost guarantee you, are probably going to be characters you're going to want to heavily consider whether or not you want to pull. If you have the rubies to do it, the recommendation from me is always you want to have at least enough to go to pity once or twice along with the cards once or twice. So it's very expensive with limited banners unless you really just want to get one copy of the stuff just so you can have it and build it up over time with generics and so on and so forth. So you guys know how all this goes. We've talked about this a million times. But yeah, guys, this stuff looks really, really cool. One other thing that I do want to go ahead and throw in here before we get into this other video is they did confirm that that Phantom Nest's Maxima for the new Epic Quest is going to be a purple balance. This is something else we have confirmation on. It is something that we can see. So pretty much that is what we know as far as what is going on here. But next up, let's go ahead and take a look at this other video. This one upsets me because of the way they shot it, but whatever. So this is Mr. Karate. I can pretty much tell you he is not my favorite mask-wearing member of the dev team, considering that he can't figure out how to record a video, but that's okay because he does bring along with him some new information. So he is talking about SS K and SS Kula, and the thing that he talks about here is derived skills. So as you can see here, and it's going to be fairly small because again, he doesn't know how to shoot a video, but as you can see, the derived skill is basically going to be second knuckle in this case, and second shoot, which you can use after you've used Ein Trigger. So this is very, very similar to what this character does in the official games, and this is something I'm very happy to see because it is canon. Because as I had mentioned in yesterday's video breaking down that teaser image for K, we knew that in the original games that K has Ein Trigger into a ton of different skills that he can use at his disposal, and then in the case of Kula, she has her Race Spin into things such as Race Spin Sit and so on and so forth. So it's looking like they are trying to adapt that sort of philosophy and that sort of system into the King of Fighters Allstar by giving these characters the ability to use a secondary skill after they've used that skill to combo into them. We're going to have to wait and see what kind of effects these extra skills have, because basically the biggest reason why this could become an issue for these characters versus other characters in the meta and setting them apart from those other characters in a big way is if those extra skills have really, really good effects, because that basically just means that they are going to be getting all of the bonuses of all of the normal effects that they would get on their kit on top of extra effects in addition to those because of that. So that's a big deal, you guys. We'll talk more about it in depth in tomorrow's Saturday Chat and Chill after I've gotten a chance to watch more of this. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Good luck to all of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Continue.